Also proud to say we go at Wagner College. My wife works at Seton Hall in admissions right now, and she said the exact same thing about, she came home one day, did you see U.S. News and World Report? What the heck is going on at Wagner College? And we are really proud of everything that's gone on here. 1978, I was recruited by Walt Hamline to come to Wagner College. So that's unbelievable, isn't it? And best thing, by far, the best thing that ever happened to me. So it's so great to be here. John Knutson, I just smile thinking of him. You know, I just smile. He's such a beautiful man and such an important part of Wagner College. But couldn't help to think that what John would have said earlier today. Looks like it's raining out. A lot of rain today, Capper. You know, he was kind of, he would always give you the obvious thing that was, oh, a little injury there, you're hurting it. He was the best ever. But I am here today to talk about Dan Seigle. And boy, talk about Walt, everybody will tell you, Pam, Tara, recruiting is the key to life. If you're going to have any kind of success in sports. And I had the opportunity to recruit Danny's brother, Andy Seigle. And he was in Carbondale, Pennsylvania. And I worked every day, and I got to know some of the nicest people I ever met. And I'd like them to stand up right now. This is John and Blessy Seigle. This is Danny Seigle. And what happened was I did not get Andy Seigle. He was a 6'9" player. He chose Marist. But I was wearing him down. And every time in that living room, there was another young boy right there. And so this recruiting process of Danny Seigle was about an 8-year process. And it went on and on and on. And what happened is, and I think other coaches can agree with, is sometimes you want to be the coach that's hardest to say no to. And I really want to be, I don't know if I could get him to say yes, but I knew he couldn't say no to me. And it was because, Blessy especially, unbelievable, Mom, I appreciate that. I could talk all about Dan Seigle a ton. Luke is going to talk about him in a second. If you get a chance, we all Google and Wikipedia people now all the time, and you get so easy. His career is ridiculous now. He had a terrific, great career here at Wagner. But you will be amazed. He is a superstar. He is known as Dynamite Danny. He's on billboards. He's doing commercials. He is the star. And one of the stars in the Philippines, which is not what you'd say, not weak basketball. He has continued this amazing career. He's gone through some injuries, and yet still he's been on the national team. He is a superstar. If you get a chance, Danny Seigle, you'll crack up to see what an amazing career he's had. Part of being a good player at a team is being surrounded with great teammates and great coaches. And when I think of Dan Seigle, I'm reminded of the assistant coach that helped recruit him, Tim Finnerty, who we lost in 9/11. But we lost him. I think of a manager we had, Joe Lowley, who was from Scranton, Pennsylvania, and that made a big difference. And I think of the team and the teammates. And then I think of one special guy in particular. And that's who's going to speak for him now. This is one, every team has special guys, coaches that you really need to look to really help you coach, that really help the team get ready for practice or get ready for a game and make a difference. And this guy was that guy for me and for a lot of people for the school. For me, and he was for Danny also. He was as good a person as I had ever met, as good an athlete, and person that I had ever coached. And this is the perfect person to tell you a little bit about Danny Seigle. This is Luke Timmons.
That's a nice way for you to say, I didn't play a minute since I was here, but I appreciate that. You're a team guy, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Jesus. Cap, when we were probably little, we probably envisioned ourselves, collecting Hall of Fame awards and people speaking for us and, presenting. But between your record and the fact that, on my claim to fame, I had 3 3-pointers against the African country of Tunisia in an exhibition game. Remember that at Southern Gymnasium? So we won't be getting that call here, at least anytime soon, I can imagine. Yeah, right. We win in the game of life. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today it's my absolute honor to accept the Wagner College Athletics Hall of Fame Award on behalf of one of my best friends and teammates, Danny Seigle. I'd like to personally congratulate all of today's award recipients, including Amanda, Ricky, Joe, and Willie. And with the exception of Mr. Morris, I feel privileged to have been able to watch you personally, your careers, and have gotten to know you guys during our time at Wagner, and your Hall of Fame awards are so well deserved. I just want to thank Coach Hamline and Dr. Guarassi and Bobby Schnur and John Ispire and the entire Hall of Fame committee for allowing me to accept this award on Danny's behalf. 20 years ago, Danny and I had met at Old Sutter Gymnasium during basketball practice, workouts actually, and I was an average high school player from Staten Island who had a dream to play Division I basketball, and Danny was an all-state player from a small town in Pennsylvania. And for whatever reason, perhaps it was the fact that my late father had owned a successful restaurant in Staten Island, or that I had moonlighted as a bartender in West Brighton. From that first day at Sutter, we had become inseparable. When Cap allowed me to walk on the team that year, he actually did something for me that I could never repay him for. He gave me a chance to watch my best friend play basketball. As many of you know, the life of a walk-on doesn't afford much playing time, but for me, it didn't matter. Day in and day out, I watched my best friend be great. His career statistics at Wagner speak for themselves. Danny was a two-time All-NEC selection, scored over 1,650 points in his college career, which is good enough for 6th all-time in Wagner history, as well as being in the top 10 all-time in many offensive categories. And you'll notice I said the word offensive because Cap and I can attest to he wasn't setting too many defensive records. Nonetheless, Danny was an amazing player, but in my opinion, what set him apart from his statistics and numbers and everyone else is that it was Danny the person. To this day, having known him for over 20 years, Danny has remained as humble as he was from the first day we met back in the old gymnasium. And even more importantly, he's never forgotten where he's came from. Whether still continuing to support and provide support to his home community of Carbondale, Pennsylvania, or signing autographs for his legions of fans in the Philippines, where he's finally referred to as Dynamite Danny, or even being there for me over the past few years when I lost my dad, or when my 3-year-old daughter needed a liver transplant to save her life, and just recently when a mentor to Danny and my grandfather, legendary athletic trainer John Knudsen, had passed away last January. Danny was there for me, like he was there for so many people at Wagner, like he continues to be there for so many people today, regardless of how many miles away he is or what country he's in at the time. Today's Hall of Fame award certainly validates his college and professional career. But in my eyes, Danny's always been a Hall of Famer as a person, as a friend, as a teammate, as a brother, and as a son. On Danny's website, there's a quote which references basketball, and it says that all I hoped for was to get an education paid for, but basketball wound up being a lot more than that to me. I think that sums up his sentiments towards the game and the life he now leads. He was truly an amazing person both on and off the court, and it was a pleasure to get a chance to watch him play, and more importantly, to be able to continue to consider one of my best friends. A few weeks ago, Danny had the opportunity to come home for the day, and we had gotten together on Sunday afternoon with Cap and a couple former teammates, the Rickett brothers and Todd Rowland. And during the course of the afternoon, we laughed and we shared some stories of our time at Wagner, and although it was only for a couple of hours, it really was great to get the gang back, albeit for a short time. When Danny had asked me if I'd accept this award from him, I was disappointed at first because when I had first found out that he was being inducted, I figured he'd be able to work out his schedule in order to be home to accept it himself. However, it wasn't meant to be. He had told me how disappointed he wasn't going to be able to celebrate with everyone and see Cap and Ricky and Joe and Amanda and all others assembled together we had gone to school with and who we had shared an amazing few years and memories with. With that said, I told him I'd be honored to accept his award, and I would say a few words about him, the person, in our time at Wagner, but that he would need to write a speech that came from him, from the heart, using his own words and not mine. On Wednesday, he sent me this speech, which needed a lot of cleaning up, as Bobby can attest to. But I figured since I've been bailing him out so many times since college, what's one more time? So if you just give me a chance, I'd like to read what he had sent me on Wednesday. Although I am sorry I couldn't be here with all of you today, I am honored to be inducted to the Wagner College Athletics Hall of Fame alongside my fellow award winners, Ricky, Amanda, Joe, and Willie. They were all accomplished athletes and most deserving of their awards. Congratulations to them all. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame Committee for judging me worthy of being inducted today, and I can't begin to express how much this means to me. Honestly, I was always proud just to be a Seahawk, but to enter Wagner's Athletic Hall of Fame and have my name mentioned in the same category with all the past, present, and eventual future Hall of Famers is truly humbling and a tremendous honor. A few weeks ago, I was able to come back to campus for a visit. When I arrived here, it immediately stirred up a lot of fond memories. As I toured around, I was so happy to see some old faces like co-Hall of Fame Chairman Bobby Schnur, Athletic Director Walt Hamline, and let me say to both of you, although you have grayed a bit since the last time I saw you, you both still look real good. I also had the opportunity to have met Coach Bashir Mason and Assistant AD John Beiser, and I want to thank them both for their hospitality and for welcoming me back to the campus, and I want to wish Coach Mason continued success and the best of luck in their upcoming season. There are many changes since I had left, or since I've been back, but although we've all gotten a bit older and things may look different, the campus has never looked better. Attending Wagner was both a joy and a privilege. However, I do recall how challenging it was to balance academics and Division I athletics. I feel that those adversities that arose from my collegiate challenges definitely helped prepare me for the next phases of my life and career. Therefore, I will always hold this institution in high regards and continue to utilize it as a stepping stone to all my future endeavors. I would like to emphasize that I could not have gotten here alone. I had a substantial amount of love, support, love, and help from so many. To my former coach and mentor, Tim Capstraw, I appreciate you presenting and introducing me once again to the Wagner athletic community. And although I may be responsible for some of your gray hairs, he was the one responsible for getting me to come, to learn, to play, to grow here on Staten Island and at Wagner. And I have to credit him for so much of my personal and professional successes. Thank you, Coach. I want to give a huge shout out to my friends, former teammates, and coaches from both Carbondale High School and Wagner. I want to thank the media that has covered my career, especially advanced writer Cormac Gordon. The Wagner College faculty for helping me develop and mature as a student, as a person, and the entire Carbondale community back home that still continues to support me, follow my career, and welcome me home when I needed a break from basketball. There are so many more unnamed individuals who have been such an incredible influence that I can't mention today, but I will say my sincerest and profound thanks to all of you. This is something that he insisted that I say. I would like to give a mention to Luke's late dad, Jimmy Timmons, who took me in and welcomed me when I was away from home for the first time in my life. He knew I had limited resources when I arrived here on campus, but could have cared less. I ate and drank like a king, and you introduced me to everyone you knew. Jimbo, you treated me like your own son, and your generosity helped make my professional and college career unforgettable. Until we meet again, JT. Most importantly, I'm extremely grateful to my immediate family, mom and dad, who are here. Andy, Mark, and Susan, thanks for always being there for me. I love you guys. I want to thank the Lecaros and the Prieto family for your kindness and never-ending support. And of course, I need to thank the most significant person in my life, Roseanne Prieto. Roseanne, your unconditional love, wisdom, and a zest for life makes this awesome journey we're on even better each day. None of this would have been possible without any of you. I am beyond blessed. And lastly, I'd like to dedicate this award to my late sister, Merle. I love you so much, and I miss you. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of Danny and his family, and once again, congratulations to all of us this afternoon.